it's Mark the Movie Man, and never let it be said that there's a movie out there I will not watch. Proof of that today, we toss up on the chopping block Wolves and Vampires as we take a look at New Moon. Dip 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 bump it bump bump it bump it bump it bump it dang 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 ding dong ding New Moon. No, there isn't a song called New Moon, but there may as well should be because everything else has New Moon's name on it. Yes, 5 people out there who haven't heard New Moon, the Twilight Saga's New Moon to be specific, has hit theaters last weekend and it broke a lot of blockbusters. It went like $160 million. So yes, I took one for the team, and I, 30-something old movie man, went to see this movie directed at tweens who have read the book, okay? And so I went into it with open mind, somewhat, and looked at it just as a movie, okay? Just how good of a movie is it by itself, and it's still not that good. I'm sorry, folks. Wait to the bottom of the cast and crew in case for those, 5 out there who don't know who they are. Okay, I have to get off the bat. I didn't quite care for Twilight. I enjoyed Twilight for the idea of the vampires, okay, but I thought the vampires, no offense, the vampires were kind of lame, okay? They were lame vampires. They were about the lamest vampires I've ever seen. Yes, I know it's made for young adults, but still, these guys, even at the end battle for the Twilight, okay, just, they didn't quite reach vampire badassum that they really should be, because they're a whole family of vampires. You think they'd kick some ass, right? But so comes New Moon, and we find out, there's still that teen angst going on. Edward's really trying not to drink his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's wanting to be drunk, and not drunk like, hey, you're a vampire. No, she wants to, giving the old Dracula treatment. And, you've got that, I guess, tension in there. You can't really tell, though, because, I'm sorry, the 2 principal actors don't really act well. I don't know if it's just the characters or the script that they have, but Bella, I could care less about. I understand going for teenage angst, and maybe the tween girls out there could relate more than I could, but, just sitting there going, wow, you're really bad acting. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Now, the people around him were great, okay? I liked the Jacob guy, character, okay? His acting was good. All the supporting cast, the dad, and everybody around these 2 principal characters acted really well. But, Edward and Bella, they're really stale performances. I'm sorry. And maybe it's because I didn't get the whole emotional, emo, whatever, angst thing going on. Now, the Jacob character I thought was really good. He did great acting, and the storyline with him and Bella, because Edward, gets scared and runs off or whatever, doesn't want to drink his girlfriend, I thought the storyline between them was good, but I felt a lot of emotion from, Jacob, nothing from Bella. I mean, either way, she just was there, like reading from her script. And it took me away from the film. What also took me away from the film was the fact that the plot keeps going along. All of a sudden, we take a 90-degree turn because we realize Edward hasn't had enough screen time. Patterson, we need to get him back on the film. Okay? And so suddenly the plot goes 90 degrees. Now, maybe it does that in the book. I may actually read the book just so I can see if that's how abrupt it is. But to me, it was so abrupt. It was like they just took this chunk, they came up with it, and inserted it into the rest of the story. And it was really disorientating there as well, okay? It was like just an excuse to bring these actual badass vampires to the screen, and some threat to the vampire family. But in general, as a film, it's just okay. The special effects are decent. I like the werewolf stuff they did. The werewolf-vampire fight, what little there was of it, was decent. And, the action scenes were good, and I know they put them in there to try to appeal to more guys, but, it kind of defeats it when, after you do an action sequence every other 5 seconds, there's some guy taking his shirt off with a camera angle up, making him look like Olympus or Hercules or something, okay? Now, that goes for your demographic, what you're going for. Everybody else, not so much, okay? Listen, folks, if you're a big fan of the Twilight Saga New Moon, go see it. I'm sure you'll just go crazy about it, okay? If you're looking out there, if you're kind of curious about the saga, first see Twilight, okay, then see this film. It'll make a lot more sense. But it's just an okay movie, okay? I had to give it 2.5 stubs. That's not reflecting on the saga, Twilight, whatever's franchise, books and everything. That's reflecting to this film, okay? And by the way, personally, Jacob has a lot better chest than, you know, pale skin, you know, pasty Edward. Sorry, he does, if you're into that sort of thing. That'll about do it here for us, the Final Cut. Till next time, keep your ticket stub.